The NDC's internal wrangling on how to fight corruption takes another turn as the former majority leader Aban Bagbin is accusing presidential staffer Stan Dogbe of insulting him for advising the president on the need to intensify the fight against corruption.
When we go for politics and we are trying to mobilize resources and you have people coming in huge amounts for candidates to go and campaign, and you are not asking questions, you are encouraging them to do what they are doing. Even when after elections, appointments are being made and you are seeing strange faces and strange names, and the only evidence you get is that they donated this amount this day. What are you encouraging? We know genuine businessmen don't spend money that way.
My name is Bright Nana Amfo, and this is today's big story. The former majority leader probably courted the anger of Mr. Stan Dogbe when he told Joy News that he had so far not seen any commitment of political leadership in the fight against corruption, and that he had decided to advise the president because attempts to meet him had failed.
Well, you can. I'm sure you have read from the social media a response allegedly from Stan Dogbe. I believe will have been from the president himself, because he is the mouthpiece of the president. If such characters as Stan Dogbe are those managing the president, then our president is naked, very naked. Stan Dogbe, you all know Stan Dogbe. He is the one, and he has stated that he's the first person the president sees every morning. And so he is one of those managing the president. Stan Dogbe has been in the media before, and he worked at Joy FM before. We all know him. You can even see the language he has used against me. In all my statements, I never insulted any single person. His statement in response is a complete insult to me, and they said they have passed a code of conduct for the executive, which was launched recently. But that is somebody straight, very close to the president, coming out and attacking his very senior member in governance. I, who led the president for many years and anchored him and supported him from his constituency to the national to ensure that he becomes president. This is the response from them against me.
Aban Bagbin also said he does not hate the president and that he is only concerned and thinks the NDC is losing its focus on the fight against corruption.
People are getting up. People are getting fed up. People are losing interest in democracy because the benefits of democracy are not getting to them. And so it's not like I hate President Mahama, as the spin doctors want to show. I fought for President Mahama right up from the early 2000s, and he knows what I did for him until today. And so it's important that we get things right. We cannot always keep on bemoaning what we all sat still and allowed something to happen. No, I believe it's high time we take the bull by the horns and fight to save Mother Ghana. Oh no! If I had, I would have been able to draw his attention to just some mistakes that his government is making. And everybody, all those around, they know that I have complained about this. The president is aware. For over 5 months, I've made all efforts to have one-on-one with the president to draw his attention to a few things happening that he could just take action to correct. It has all come to nothing. Not at all. And then people are expecting me to keep quiet, and in future, all of us will be lambasted and blamed for what might have happened. And I saw, you see, and I still continue to see the president as representing 5 serious constituencies in this country. And many of you are taking it lightly, but you don't know that even in the media, you members of the media, the president represents you. This is the first time that we've had a media man being president. His success and failures will affect you in the media. The youth must know that the perception now is that we have a youth. It is not true that he's the youngest. No, even Nkrumah was younger, you know, and President Jerry John Rawlings, we all know, became head of state around 32, 33 years. But now the perception is that he represents the youth. His failure in government will affect the youth seriously. People must know that he is seen as one of the new generation leaders. And people are having serious hopes that the new generation leaders will make a difference. His failure will have telling effect on the perception of governance in this country, if not the whole world.
Right, so these were the outbursts before, but earlier he had told Joy News a lot of things. Let's recap that, a particular one on the fight against corruption. And he said that is key to the success of the Mahama-led administration.
The biggest problem in our country today is corruption. He talked about the fact that we need leadership, and in this case, political leadership to deal with it. Do you think we have it today to be able to deal with corruption in this country?
Well, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen the leadership to deal with corruption?
No. I haven't seen it.
Why do you say that?
Well, we've all heard of a lot of allegations in the country. We've heard of the steps that have been taken, which I must say are not the right steps. There's setting up of committees to investigate and that kind of thing. That is not the right step. From my submissions, you see that I'm relying more on the institution that we have established and given the mandate to investigate cases and to carry out the necessary processes, either to prosecute them or otherwise. We have seen that. That is not what is happening. And so people are somehow encouraged to do what they are doing. When we go for politics and we are trying to mobilize resources, and you have people coming with huge amounts for candidates to go and campaign, and you are not asking questions, you are encouraging them to do what they are doing. Even when after elections, appointments are being made, and you are seeing strange faces and strange names, and the only evidence you get is that they donated this amount this day. What are you encouraging? We know genuine businessmen don't spend money that way.
Right, quickly, let's join the phone lines. Now, Mr. P.C. Apiofori is a member of the NPP, and he is an anti-corruption campaigner. Now, Mr. Apiofori, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you also for calling me.
Now, first of all, you also had the same, or you went into the same kind of bowl, let me put it that way, when you raised issues of corruption in your own party at that time. Now, tell us, share the experience of Mr. Aban Gbagban. What is really running through his head at the moment?
Well, Aban Gbagban wants his party to succeed. Aban Gbagban wants his government to succeed. Indeed, Aban Gbagban wants his president to succeed. So any negative tendencies that will run down the president, that will run down his government, that will run down the party. Anybody who is loyal to the party will be bold enough to point them out. And if he does so, then he must be praised, but he should not be crucified. Look at what happened to the former Attorney General. He spoke against wrongdoing at the time Atame's was here. And Atame's was incited to sack him. And look at what's happening. The whole world has come to say that Ghana is the third corrupt country in the world. If she had been listened to, it will not have happened in this way. But let me tell you, Article 25, Clause 8 of our Constitution says, the state shall take steps to eradicate corrupt practices. And if the state shall take steps to eradicate corrupt practices, then the head of the state is the one who leads the fight against corruption.
Right.
So it's the president who must initiate actions to fight corruption. So if his attention is drawn to this, and those who are drawn at this such attention are rather his lovers, people who want him to succeed, people who want him to set the things on fire, so that at the end of the day, you end up having done a good job for himself and for his country. Well, some people are just irresponsibly criticizing such honest people who are pointing out the shortcomings. The constitutional provision, has it given effect to it? The state shall take steps to give to ensure that corrupt practices are eliminated.
If you think that Honorable Bagmin is a hero from where you're sitting, why do you think he's being criticized so much by his own party members? Is it because they are part of perhaps the alleged people engaged in corruption?
Yes, those who are criticizing him are those who don't know what they are doing. They don't understand the implication. Even this constitutional provision I've quoted, they don't know it. The Constitution says it's the duty of the state to eradicate corrupt practices. And therefore, if the state has not eradicated corrupt practices, the head of the state is blamed. So if he draws attention for this to take place, is he an enemy? Sorry, is he an enemy? Hamid was outspoken, pointed at all these things. And he was a lot of condemnation. At the end of the day, this man sacked him. Removed him from office. He did not even rest there. He went further. The money which had been falsely, fraudulently accessed should be paid back to the state. He went to court. He won the case. It is the government that must go for the money. As the government know, has John Mahama's administration gone for the money for the country? So all these, I think people don't understand what is happening. But they are forgetting that Ghana first, before MPP, before NDC. If you do anything to destroy the country because of MPP or because of NDC, you destroy for the younger ones. Because we, the older ones, will go. And if at the end of the day we have destroyed the country, after we have gone, the younger ones are those who are going to suffer. So at all times, let's leave first the overall interest of Ghana so that at the end of the day, everybody will prosper.
You started the same kind of campaign during former President Kufuor's reign. You spoke hard against corruption. Now, did you succeed? What is the level of your success? And do you think Mr. Bagmin can succeed? And how much can he alone bring on board the fight against corruption?
Yes, if he cannot even succeed, the records will be there that he spoke against it. That alone is enough. Because if one person is speaking against it, it's really what I was doing. When I was speaking against it, I was seen as being an enemy to MPP. And even I was taken to court, using the Controller Accountant General, because I criticized his account some time ago, and they said I was disgracing MPP. So he was engineered to drag me to court. The person who did the former Minister of Finance, he engineered that he should take me to court. And I was sued at High Court. And I want to prove my case. I want documents to prove that the whole thing was wrong, totally wrong, playing with fraud. People who were not who didn't exist had their names on the payrolls and they were paid. Those who are retired were paid. Those who were dead were paid. All these things were uncovered by the Auditor General, brought these things to the Parliament. And when I spoke against it, that the government should sit up and stop all these things, I was accused of running down MPP. I was dragged to court, sued me for 50 billion. And I went to court to dismiss them. I rubbished them. Because what I said was as true as the gospel. What Abambadi is saying, he's not running down NDC. but it's rather drawing attention to all these lapses, because if the Constitution says the president or the state should take action to eradicate corrupt practices, and this is not being done, and as a result of this, international communities have seen Ghana as being a corrupt country, third in ranking, and it's drawing attention to this. Should it be condemned? Or they want MPP man to condemn it? If somebody from within me condemns it and draws attention to this, you should hold it diligently instead of seeing Abambeben as having committed a crime against his party.
How would you react to the concerns, some arguments being sent across indicate that, well, he's not been given a position in the current government, and so perhaps he's peeved and so want to bite hard at the president?
Oh, that's not the reason. That's not the reason.
You also might have suffered the same kind of sentiment. People said that, well, you don't have a position in government, and so that's why you're backing at your own government.
People were saying this, but Kufuor himself admitted that I had never, during the period I was there, gone to him and asked for any position. I did not. Because I said that even if I was given a position, I won't take it, because they were starting the next day. I said, if I was given a position and I found that the government was engaged in corrupt practices, I won't shut my eyes at the wrongdoing. And therefore, knowing that I should not be even sacked, I will not even take any job, any appointment. I was not aspiring to take any appointment. And I was not offered, by the way. I didn't ask for, because I was ready to fight to the end. Ghana first. This is my position. I am mortar. You are mortar. One day you will leave. If you destroy the country today, you destroy for the young hour. When we went to attain independence, the number of Ghana was, the population in Ghana was 7 million. Today we are 25 million. Don't you think that the government needs more money than before to prosecute programs and activities that will make life well living for the people of this country? But if the money is not coming, and if people are perpetrating corrupt practices and stealing the money, is it an offense for anybody to draw attention to this? Is it not in the interest of Ghana?
This way, Mr. Apiofor, this way of fighting corruption, where we have a party insider trying to expose corrupt practices, or alleging that some people are corrupt, how effective is it in the fight against corruption? Has it ever been successful? Do you think that state institutions that are set up to fight corruption should rather take up the challenge?
Yes, the state institutions that are supposed to, but they are not, no state institutions that are supposed to fight corruption. All those we have, the reports are sent to them for them to investigate, like former serious fraud office. Those who are engaged in certain things, somebody makes a report to them. That institution itself does not go into looking for investigating any corrupt practice. That's not a function.
Mr. Apiofor,
yes?
Right, go ahead.
So if people are drawing attention to these lapses, and if the Constitution says this should be done, and attention is being drawn to it by the people, the government, the president should welcome it and give effect to the changes so that at the end of the day, Ghana will be a prosperous country.
Right. Mr. Apiofor, hold the line for me. Let me speak to a 2012 independent presidential candidate, Mr. Jacob Osei, who just joined this discussion. Mr. Yeboah, thanks so much for your time. Now, first of all, this way of fighting corruption, where we have independent people, or perhaps insiders, party insiders, coming out, trying to advise, trying to lead the crusade within that same government about the need to clean the stables. Let me put it that way. What do you think, or how effective has it been, or will it be, in the fight against corruption?
Thank you very much. I think first and foremost, the best thing in fighting corruption, first and foremost, is to expose the corruption. So the attempt by the NDC party itself, and especially some key members, coming out to say that indeed that there's some level of corruption in governance also shows the inner strength of the party.
Right.
Now, the first thing is, now that it's been exposed, how do we deal with that? Are we just leaving it at the exposure state? The next thing is as to how to deal with it. But in dealing with it, we need to have a bigger picture. And that is why some of us, when we heard that President Rawlings was calling for all Ghanaians to help the President Mahama in fighting corruption, is a step in the right direction. In the sense that, especially, we all know from the history of this country that corruption was known to be Kalabule in 1979, when people were given Faris Squad with the hope that it will totally eliminate corruption. But now it has grown from Kalabule to Gangantuan. And for that matter, it means that we need structures in place in fighting corruption. And I will also be quick to say that in our time now, the best tool also for us to use in fighting corruption is through ICT. It's just to help us to eliminate the level of human influences in our processes and procedures.
Let me pick your brains on this. Mr. Bagbin does not seem to see that political leadership or that political will to fight corruption in the sitting president, President Mahama. He thinks that the president has not shown that will to fight the canker. From what you said, you have been a former independent candidate. Do you also see same?
You see, that is his personal view, okay?
But what is your view?
You see, my view is that we need to mature in the way we handle an issue. It was in that same vein in 1979 when all of us were crying for let the blood flow, let the blood flow. And when our former President Rawlings actually heeded to that call, later on, all of us, we turned against him. And for that matter, now there's an exposure. Now, is it the duty of the government, of the president, now that there's an exposure, for him to take up the appointment of policing, the appointment of prosecuting, the appointment of ensuring that we get the money back? So once that there's an exposure, let's empower our institutions for them to take up their responsibility in ensuring that we get to the bottom.
Mr. Apiofori thinks that the Constitution mandates the president to lead the crusade. Now, an insider, a party member, says, I'm not even getting access to the president to tell him that this is what is happening. You need to open your eyes wider. So the institutions could be there, but the one who is supposed to lead the fight is turning his eyes somewhere, and so the canker is still there.
You see, you know what? Let me ask this question. If you have a government that corruption is going on and is never exposed, as against a government that there's a perceived corruption and is being exposed, which of these two do you think that is actually working always in dealing with corruption? Definitely is the latter. Because once a government or a president has allowed the issue of corruption to come up to the public domain, then it means that there's a will in dealing with the corruption. And definitely there will be a way in finalizing the exposure. So let's actually not be in a rush like the June 4th when we say, let the blood flow, and then within the shortest possible time, people were shot, dead.
Let me wrap up with Mr. Apiofori. I'll come back to you to wrap up. Let me wrap up with Mr. Apiofori. Mr. Apiofori, if you are there, now the counter-argument is that, well, the corrupt practices has been exposed, and that is enough, suggesting that then we can begin to do something about fighting corruption. Do you share the same view?
I don't agree with him. The man doesn't know what he's talking about. Corrupt practices started from Warren's time, MPP time, Atame's time, and John Mahama's time. That's why it started. They have been there. And no action has been taken by any of these presidents. To give effect to Article 35 plus 8, who said the state shall take steps to eradicate corrupt practices and abuse of power. The state. So if the state shall take steps to do this, then the head of state is the one who should lead the fight against corruption. And we didn't do it. FPP government didn't do that. Well, government didn't do that. Atame's government didn't do that. John Mahama hasn't done that. And it's slipping back from bad to worse. Sums of money that may be used by the government to prosecute programs and activities that will bring improved quality of life for the people ends up in people's pockets. Should we sit down unconcerned for this to go unabated? This is because of Nazareth. We, the older ones, will leave. But if today we sit down unconcerned for this to go on, then we destroy the country for the younger ones. So we should all come together to say no to corrupt practices. And it's the duty of the president, by Article 35 plus 3, to lead the fight against corruption. And if he fails to do so, then he has not performed his constitutional responsibility.
Thank you so much for speaking. The Mr. PC appeal for is an anti-corruption campaigner. Let me also turn once again to Mr. Jacob Osei. Mr. Appeal for thinks that, well, the final thing, the onus lies on the president. It is not for us. He is a leader. The Constitution gives him that stick to keep everyone in line. And if he doesn't do it, well, he is the one to blame. You don't seem to agree to this.
You see, the problem that I have with all of us is that normally we tend to shift blame and responsibility to people. When we're talking about government, we all know that we say that we have three arms of government.
Right.
We have the executive, the legislature, and then the judiciary. So it means that these three arms of government ought to work in consonance in order to have effective governance for the people. Now, you and I know that when it came to Parliament, we all know, especially the Public Accountable Committee,
right?
You know that we the PAC, we know that they normally interrogate most officials. What actually comes out of that? Who do they leave the responsibility in carrying out to the final stage to? They are the legislative. So it's like all of us, the moment we accept the fact that we have reneged on our responsibility, and for that matter, there is a need for us, okay, to rethink innovatively as to how to handle this in our society, the better it will be for all of us. And I don't think that we need to hastily deal with this corruption like the manner that we dealt with in 1979. We must mature. And after all, we need to have the bigger picture. What do we want to achieve at the end of the day, assuming that somebody has embezzled our money?
Right.
Is it just like putting the person behind bars? It's actually dealing with corruption? Because in 419 scheme, they have what we call financial suicide.
Right.
The person will make sure that he commits suicide financially and go to prison. And after 10 years, he will come and enjoy. If it is 59 million, he will come and enjoy that 59 million after 10 or 20 years, or his family. And so the onus should be as to how we will be able to get these funds back onto the community that these funds were meant for. So we need to think about it innovatively, and maybe, hopefully, as we continue with this intellectual discourse on corruption, we will find an intelligent way in handling corruption and then showing the way for the rest of Africa. You see, sometimes we need to be extra careful. We've put so much fear in our leaders, such that when they take out our money, then they go and give it to the white man. It's so sad. So what can we do such that if even they are corrupt, these monies will still stay with us in Ghana? That is what I'm thinking of. I don't want to encourage any measures that will make people leave this our country country with our money and go and stay somewhere.
Thank you so much,
No,
Mr. Jacob
it.
Osei, who will have to leave it here. Thank you so much for your time there, speaking to me on issues of corruption there. And of course, we'll have more right after here. But the first segment is just gone down to drain, and we have the second segment coming up right after this. You're so live on today's big story. Stay with me. I'm coming back in a moment to get to the lady who is coming with the interactive spirit. Stay there. This is today's big story. Yeah, welcome back to the show. And of course, we'll be talking about getting interactive. And don't forget that Egypt is a second leg venue for that crucial qualifier that will give you and me, Ghanaians, the Black Stars, the ticket to Egypt. And FIFA has sanctioned the city to be safe, and the Black Stars will have to go. But is that what it means? The Ministry of Sports is talking about it. We'll be talking about that on Interactive. She just joined me, and the Black Stars will have to go by all means.
They have to go, but
would they be wearing perhaps bulletproof and all that?
You know, there's some pictures trending on Facebook with bulletproof vests and numbers behind them. It's very funny though to see, because you need to be agile, you need to move. So having to carry this bulletproof vest and then kicking a ball, I don't know how that would look like. But Ghana is asking for further and better particulars from the Egyptians to
before
say,
I'm planning to Egypt.
Exactly, to say you're providing security, but we need to know the details of the security.
Or maybe Kusia Pierce Boy should be sent to the military academy and training school for some 2 weeks before they go.
I mean, you can, or we can go to Kofi Annan Peace Building Center to learn how to, build peace before they go. Because when they came here, there were little squabbles. So we don't want to go and repeat that when we get to Egypt, because it's their home turf. You never know what would happen.
Okay, Marian, welcome once again.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about getting interactive.
Welcome to JN Interactive. My name is Marian Toure. Welcome to this Monday's edition of JN Interactive within today's big story. And we are talking about Egypt versus Ghana, which we are to play in about 2 weeks from now. And Ghana is asking for further and better particulars from FIFA to say, okay, you say you're providing security, but give us a breakdown of the kind of security that you're providing our boys and also our fans. I'd like to announce all the social media tools that you need to get in touch with us now. If you're on Joy News, you will find us at Joy News, facebook.com/Joy News on TV. If you're on Twitter, we tweet at Joy News on TV. And remember to use the hashtag JNInteractiveGH so that we'll be able to sort all of your, comments out and then take them all at once. I am on Twitter too, and I tweet at MNToure. If you're sending us an email, please use joynewsim@multitvworld.com. And our WhatsApp number is 0260 518 801. So I'm trying to get to the stories that are trending right now, so that you will also be able to follow on your screens right now, so that you will know what is actually trending at this very moment. And what we are talking about, yes, is that Brazil 2014, Ghana is requesting that Cairo give some security guarantees, and also from FIFA to say that this is what is happening. The sports ministry is demanding those further and better particulars from FIFA on why it's sanctioning the second leg match for the World Cup playoff against Egypt to take place in Cairo. FIFA has declared the Egyptian's capital as to host the match on November 19th, after review, a very comprehensive security plan of the Egyptian authorities, and the Ghana FA has, they wrote earlier to FIFA requesting that the game be moved to a neutral ground over security concerns due to the ongoing political and civil unrest in Egypt. But FIFA was convinced that the earmarked defense venue is safe, and apparently it takes 30,000. It's safe to host the game, and thus they turned, our request down. So the Sports Ministry is now demanding further clarification on the safety guarantees made by the Egyptian authorities from FIFA. And the ministry sent a letter to the world governing body challenging that decision. And they're saying that they're not actually challenging the decision, but they want clarification to say, okay, if you are the governing body, you are FIFA. So if you say we should go, we will go. But this is what we are asking for. We are asking you to give us, further and better particulars, as they put it, so that we'll be able to, understand where you're coming from and everything like that. So that is what is trending right now on social media. We've been out there and we've been talking to you, been asking you so many questions also on our Facebook page, and we are asking you to actually tell us on our Facebook. So I'd like to tell you, so that those of you who are listening and haven't gone yet will know what we're talking about, to tell us whether what we are asking for isn't too late. It's barely 2 weeks into, the game, and we are asking that they give us the chance to change where we're going to play. So we have been out there, and we are asking, you to talk to us, about what you're thinking. Should we still go? We are asking, it says poor security, so should we still go to Egypt to play? We'll take our first video blog.
This morning, when the Egyptian government dragged the former president to the law court, the kind of political tension that is coming over there, the instability, the probable instability that will follow even the man's appearance today in court, I'm sorry, Ghana doesn't have any reason to, play in Cairo. At least they must decide on a different venue for them. But for Cairo, I don't think it will be a good place for the players.
For me, I don't think you should go. Because if they have these kind of suicide bombings and whatever it is, and the security is not tight over there, then they should just change their location there. That's all.
I'm not being paid to go and play in Egypt. They are being paid to go and play in Egypt, so they should put their lives in danger for the nation. They don't share their money with me, so they should put their lives in danger for the nation.
They are professional players. They've gone around the whole globe playing football. They know what they do whenever they get to another country. They should do their best. Whatever they do, they know is the best for the country. That's what they should do.
So you've been expressing what you're thinking, your views with us. We posted to Facebook a very lengthy one, but it's up now, and I'll try to, project it so that you can also see what we are asking. The precursor is that the Ministry of Sports is demanding further and better particulars, and the question was that is it not too late to insist on a change of venue with 2 weeks to the game? Roland says that is Ghana for you. That is to say that we can make up our minds. Come on. Roland again says, I don't think it's late at all. Safety first. And of course, we agree with that. Newton says it's too late. Let's go to Cairo and play. Nothing would happen to us. So you're very confident of that fact. Baba Musa says, how can it be too late to change the venue? Is anybody suggesting that even if in 2 days to the date of the match, if violence break in Cairo, the match will still be played there? It is very appropriate that the Minister for Youth and Sports, Honorable Elvis Afreye Ankara, has written to demand from FIFA why they approved Cairo as the venue for the match on 19th November. But I think if CAF had not allowed some CAF matches to be played in Cairo, FIFA would not have gotten that moral booster to insist that the match should be played there So CAF is part of the blame. Richie, Ghanaians shouldn't worry because we are going to beat the Egyptians irrespective of the venue. And I think it's not too late, but the Almighty knows why FIFA accepted Cairo as the venue. God knows best. And it's amazing that when it comes to things like that, you know, we bring God in it. And sometimes you want to ask, does God play football? Does God favor one nation over the other? You never know. I'll take 2 more comments and we'll take our next video blog. Amankwa Williams says, we're only praying for a win to secure our slot in the World Cup. We should go. Nothing would happen by God's grace. And that is coming from Kennedy Asare. And so we are also asking, should Ghana play it safe to assure security? So I think before we take our blog, I have a sports historian, a football historian, on the soccer historian, I should say, on the line now, so that he can clarify some things for us. And then when he's off, we can play the next video blog. And his name is James Oyedeji. Hello, good evening, and welcome. I think the line just dropped. So we were asking you in our next video blog whether perhaps Ghana, should play safe when we go there. Not to go and be aggressive and attack and win the match. Let's give them some 2 goals or something, just to, for the sake of it, for peace sake, because we've already won anyway. So we're asking you what you think about that, and you'll be sharing it with us in our next video blog.
Apart from the fact that they will promise every sustainable security for the Black Stars, the psychological tremor that goes with it alone is also another thing altogether. Imagine a player playing football and then with a conventional perception that, in fact, this is a security, this is a place that does not have any absolute security, whatever. In fact, that psychological effect alone, if you don't take it, will have serious repercussions on the players. For that, I must assure you. We are talking about football, and the winner at the end of the whole show, who won the game? Ghana won it. That is the most important thing. As to whether we should fold our arms for them to score us, it's out of the equation, seriously speaking. So I don't think that is any issue for us. Yeah, we should go all out, play, and make sure we win. That is all. Yeah, but for Cairo, I don't think it will be a good place for Ghanaians to play.
No. I don't think that is in the game of football. I don't see any team beating the Black Stars 5 goals to 0. So definitely, by all means, the boys are going to stand up to the task and they will qualify for the World Cup. We should not allow them to score, because if there's a problem, then they should solve their problem. We are not part of their problem. I don't see why we should compromise because of the problem in Egypt. So definitely we have to play the game as it is, and then we qualify for the World Cup. That is what all Ghanaians are looking for, and that is what we are also looking for. Initially, we asked them to change the venue. They said they are not going to change their venue. We are not going to look at the disturbances in the country and say, if that's so, then we'll compromise and let them score so that at least we have our peace. If there should be anything at all, it's their problem, not ours. So they have to provide them with security, and we have to play our game and qualify for the World Cup. That's all.
The Egypt, they are just a team that they are even a coward. Because when they are coming, they said they don't want to play with us. So with their cowardness and their fear, that is why we scored them. So we shout the morale and the faith to go there. And I hope, by the grace of God, we will score them again.
We shouldn't just go there to go and sit around and just for them to score us, because there's no peace in their country. We are not going forward. We are going to play football. So on the pitch of play, we should try as much as possible, at least to defend our goals we scored here in Kumasi. Yeah, we shouldn't just go there and play because we are afraid something bad will happen to us. If FIFA is telling us to go and play, then meaning FIFA is going to make sure the players and the supporters are safe. About what Amankwa Williams said earlier on, I do agree with him. We shouldn't take any supporters there. We should just leave the Egyptians, the Ghanaians in Egypt, we should give them our flag to go to the stadium to support, to cheer the nation up. We shouldn't just go and put more lives into danger.
So welcome back, and James is back on the line now. Good evening, James. This is Marian. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Good evening.
Good evening. I wanted to find out, what do you make of FIFA's decision to, let Ghana play in Egypt?
No, it was not FIFA's decision. That was the ballot. Let's get this clear.
Okay.
There was a ballot, and Ghana was supposed to host the Pharaohs in Ghana and the second leg in Egypt. That was the ballot. So it was Ghana that raised concerns about the security situation in Cairo and requested that the match be shifted to a neutral venue so that the game can be played under a free and fair atmosphere.
Right.
And FIFA gave immediate response, that they are giving the Egyptian FA time to provide security guarantees. And they did that. FIFA, in its own estimation, believe that they can hold the Egyptian FA responsible for any mishap. That is what has happened. So it's not that the balloting, FIFA is insisting. No, that was the original ballot.
Okay, so with the current situation in Egypt, the security situation, which we all know is not good, why should FIFA still want Ghana to play in Cairo? And can we hold FIFA to account should something bad happen to any of our players or any of our supporters?
Yes, you see, I'm trying my best to let people understand the status of FIFA vis-a-vis governmental control of foreign of sovereign land. You understand? FIFA all along has made it clear that it doesn't want governmental interference in its work. When a country is hosting a FIFA match or a tournament, what FIFA requests from the government is to provide security guarantee. 1, 2, effective communication network, transportation, health. You understand? They don't talk about football with the government. So the situation in Egypt, if you go deep down, I will side with the view of the head of the Coptic Christians, that this is an invasion of civilization in Egypt. It is more than religion. The disagreement there and the infighting and outfighting is not a result of religious differences. It's not a result of political differences. It's a result of some people not identified coming to destroy the cradle of civilization. So we have to be careful there. Today, the 2 former presidents were on trial in Egypt. The Muslim Brotherhood for presidential, which he won, Mohammed Morsi, and then the ever popular Hussein Mubarak are all being tried. They belong to 2 different factions, you see, and the military is supposed to be in power. Are you saying that the people support the military? They don't support the military. They support either of these 2 factions, and who are now in problem with the military. So the situation is more than political. It's more than religious. Because according to the head of the Coptic Christians, the Christians protect the mosque in some areas, and the Muslims also protect the churches in some areas. So this is a very complex situation.
Okay,
the best FIFA can do is what they have done, to request for security guarantees, and they can be held responsible if anything goes wrong.
Okay, finally, before you go, we all know the unifying power of soccer, to bring people together. And as a sports historian, just chime into this. People are saying that perhaps Egypt is pushing for Ghana to come and play there because they know that perhaps if we go there and then we play, it would unify their people. What do you say to that?
Oh, no. It will be to a very low extent.
Okay.
Because, like I said, the problem there is more fundamental. I don't think one discipline can explain it.
Okay.
It's a multifaceted disciplinary problem. Okay? If you have to go back a little, it borders on even the existence of the military in politics. It also borders on the key rivalry. Since 1921, that the Egyptian FA got affiliated to FIFA. 1921. We got affiliated 57. You can see the gap. They've been playing football for a very, very, very long time.
Okay.
So if football was to divide them, it would have divided them.
It would have done that ago. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, James. So that was James Adedeji, who is a sports historian. Oyedeji, I beg your pardon, Oyedeji, who is a sports historian, and he was just shedding light into the game for us. We'll take our final video blog, and we are asking Ghanaians, in the event that a mishap happens, who should we hold responsible? What should Ghana even do about that? We'll take our final video blog.
They should only be careful. Where there is tension going up, they should know how to, especially with the supporters, they should know how to overcome those tensions, not to, rebattering what people over there say, because already we know that they are, the quote-unquote, that nation is in a mess already. That is why I'm quoting those words. They are in a mess already. So don't go doing things that will raise tensions. Just keep calm, and then after the game we are back home. And I'm sure nothing bad will happen, because it is their nation that is having problem. But security-wise, I can say that there is a probability that everything is well over there.
As always, it is fantastic that you all get to share your views with us on the topics that are trending on social media. I'll take some more of your comments before we wrap up. Osei says that the ministry should focus on how to win the match and not the venue. People living in Cairo are human beings as we. Wherever tiger nut is chewed, it tastes same. Fantastic. Ambrose says, well, it might be late though, but I don't think it's too late for any change to be made. After all, it's better late than never. This is about the safety of our players and supporters. Oh, Babu Godfred Babu says, God be with the players. Amen. Akwete Andrew, it is never too late. Even the venue can be changed on the 17th November. Let's go, GH. Kwesi K, it's not late. I think the ministry expected FIFA to make a good decision to change the venue, but since they made the wrong one, I think it's not late. I even saw the people of Egypt on BBC News today protesting. FIFA, please change the venue for us. Please, we beg you. Roland says, Mariam, even if we're left with 5 minutes to the game and there is a problem with the other side, they can halt the game, not to talk of 2 weeks. I think there is still time. Nana says, Nana K. Ima, I think it's not too late. We need to protect our citizens. Something needs to be done. Christian Salvo, well, I think the earlier the best, but better late than never. Amin Wahab, I don't know why FIFA is taking these insecurities issues very light. FIFA headquarters will come to a standstill if anything happens to our players. Manu Bansa says, I don't think it's too late. We can't go and play in the midst of these suicide bombers until they begin to think like upper mammals. We can't play in their country. They came to Ghana and praised our hospitality because we are in peace. We can't simply go there. We value our players and supporters. Fantastic, and thank you for bringing all your comments in. So many of them that I can't take all of them, but it's time to go now. So Bright Anfo joins me so that we can wrap up together. Hello.
So the idea is that we should go and play safe, or how do we go? We'll go carrying our bulletproof vest and perhaps...
it's better to go protected, or, anticipating that something could happen. Okay. But what if you get there and something happens and you're not? But it's not like we're drumming that something would happen or should happen. We're just interacting with everybody to see what they think.
All right, we'll hope and see. But at 8 o'clock, we'll tell you why some members of the Cape Coast constituency branch of the NPP are threatening to go to court. They think that the party's elections or the criteria for selecting eligible members is just too stringent, and they think that it will lead to the disqualification of a lot of the party supporters who are interested in contesting. Israel, I will tell you more about that at 8 p.m.
And also to expect in news at 8, Ghana has finally launched a pilot vaccination program aimed at preventing cervical cancer in women. And the First Lady, Mrs. Lordina Dramani Mahama, who performed the launch, initiated the pilot phase, will focus only on 4 selected districts in the country.
Cervical cancer, I guess you are happy. We have a vaccination.
We have a vaccine,
so
yes.
You can protect yourself against it.
Well, yeah, but early detection is always better. So I guess the advice would be that you should go, for scans, periodically.
All right. Well, thanks so much for having stayed there for us for the past 1 hour. We have joined us exclusive. Up next, my name is Bright.
And I am Marianne Toure. Have a good evening.